Dissertation of year 2002, the title of which is Images of the University of the Philippines, a Metaphoric Lens. One of the findings of my study was that there's very little collaboration between and among professors of the UP system. And today, I still remember the metaphor given by a senior faculty member. The question went this way: if you were to compare UP to instruments of technology or mechanical gadgets, what would that be? And he gave forthrightly the answer: loudspeakers talking all at the same time. And he explained it very succinctly with that phrase: professors, teachers are not collaborating enough. I wonder if, with the presence of the officials here, especially President Roman, we can do really something to get out of that rut, What is it that stops us from collaborating with one another? Thank you.
Thank you for your comment and question. I think we are on the same wavelength. Maybe you express it better than I did. When I started to talk about fragmentation, I could have developed that further. I think what I seem to see happening in this university is we have too many people who know everything, and they don't need any other person's inputs. What I did not use in my speech, but which I have used in earlier speeches, is I think we need humility. This is a virtue that is, I think, in short supply. Now, why, okay, on the other hand, I was talking to one of my colleagues about this, and she said to me, you know, part of the problem is we do not know enough. Because we don't know enough, we think we know everything. And she said, if we study more and more, we will find out that we are very ignorant. And if we are very ignorant, then we must have to ask other people for some help. But if each of us is sufficient unto himself, wala nang collaboration. So I don't know exactly how you sort of address that. One way I think I tried to address it in my talk is to foster conversation and interaction. You know, I find it of a great advantage sometimes to talk even to one or two people over a sandwich or lunch or whatever. You pick up so much information that is useful. You also pick up opportunities. And sometimes you find out where you took a step in the wrong direction. It gives you an opportunity for a course change. But if you are sufficient unto yourself, you're going to stumble and fall. So, yes, I agree. Maybe with President Roman here, Chancellor Cao, and others, I think we need more opportunities for people to interact. And maybe I would like to say, let's shut down these little coffee corners and have bigger coffee shops where people can interact more. Maybe at affordable rates. Anyway, yeah, importante, and I think that's a very good point that you're bringing up. People have to communicate with one another better in order that they can see how they can benefit from each other and to collaborate. Well, the last part of my talk is about multidisciplinary action. As I pointed out, we are really coming upon a time in the history of this planet that can be really disastrous, and we need cooperation, collaboration to address the issues. How we stop hurtling into that chaos, and how we can help each other. Hey guys, it's time to do something together. We can't be on our own, bahala na. Excuse me if I'm taking a little bit of more time than is expected. I only have one son, and he's not yet married. And one time, I heard my wife saying to our son, "How come I don't have a grandchild yet?" Well, I reacted, sabi ko, I'm not really convinced that I should have a grandchild. And I said to the two of them, the world is becoming a more challenging place to live in. And if we're having a hard time now, and if our son is having a hard time, you can't imagine how difficult it will be for that third generation, given all of the challenges that are now coming up in the world. So this has to come to our consciousness that there is going to be a real sort of challenge, a real disaster upon us. Maybe, as I said, not in our generation, but in the next generation. But we are the ones that can do something to prevent that from happening. By the time it happens to them, it's too late. It's us today that have to take the action. And this needs collaboration among many disciplines. And I think this is one area where the university can really play an important role.
Thank you, sir. I believe President Roman would like to add to that.
This might sound like a joke, but they say that the motto in UP is that if it is not my idea, it is wrong. If it is not my idea, it is wrong. Well, anyway, I think that was about 6 years ago when we had a visioning exercise in Diliman. I was still chancellor then. And we invited faculty members to join us in imagining Diliman in the next century or so. And we did an assessment of what's going on in Diliman, and everybody almost agreed that what seemingly is becoming a big problem in Diliman is that we are no longer reading each other. We no longer read each other. We no longer talk with each other. Parang people are developing in isolation of each other. No? I do not know if it is a function of the size of the university because we have grown so big, even in protest rallies. Many years ago, when I was still a student, there was just Manila, Diliman, and Los Baños, and when there were rallies, we all converge in Diliman. Now, because we have autonomous campuses, the parang fragmented in a way, So people no longer care about what's going on in Diliman, what's going on in Manila, what's going on in the Visayas, parang because these are autonomous campuses. So that's also yung fragmentation that you were referring to. So it is also a structural problem. And I don't know if we can bring back the situation of many years ago. Many years ago, we would have convocations, university convocations, where we talk about issues. Pero because we have expanded, we have grown in size, it's almost impossible to do these things. But what I would have wanted to see is for the different campuses to retain that kind of interaction. And if not on a campus level, at the college level. You might think that a coffee or a lounge might seem too simple a solution, but in the United States, a vending machine was a venue for interaction. One might think, ano ba yung use ng vending machine aside from getting drinks or food? It's a venue where people meet and then they talk about, hey, what are you up to these days? What are you doing? So there's some kind of interaction. So the coffee, the lounge that Ed is talking about, it's a very useful, venue. Except that what happened in the case of MSI is naggrupo-grupo din. No? But I do remember even telling Ed, no, you should have a good coffee maker here so that everybody will be attracted to go to the lounge. No, because when you see them in the lounge, you get your coffee, then you, what research are you doing now? Maybe, then some kind of interaction will happen. So if the university has expanded, I guess the responsibility goes down to the deans and maybe to the department chairs. So if you don't see faculty members around, that should be a problem. Maybe the place is not attractive or interesting enough for faculty members to want to stay. You might have faculty members just going to the college to teach and then leaving after classes are over. Parang wala nang time to stay and interact with the faculty. So I guess that is a challenge to all the faculty members as well as to the department chairs. Kasi nga, even if we want to, the fact that we have grown might have been also the problem, but that does not mean we will just, let it be that way. But that is a challenge to our academic leaders from the most basic of units, the departments, all the way to the college and maybe to the campus.
Thank you, President Roman. I believe Chancellor Cao would like to say something also.
I just feel that I have to react to what Celia said, because what is true is it is not easy for faculty members to collaborate. But it is a fact that many faculty members actually have collaborative projects in the university, in Diliman, and also across universities. I'm aware that there are projects, there is a project, for example, that is being done by Maricor Soriano of physics and Ana Labrador of art studies on preservation of artworks. So there is a project that is done by HE, AIT, College of Human Kinetics, Architecture on sustainable tourism. There is a project on digital provide by the EEE and with a researcher from the Department of Sociology. Dean Guevara of Engineering is doing a project with Professor Safra of Filipino, Belen Kalingacion of Speech and Theater Arts, and Dean Acoimo of Music. No? There are, in fact, many collaborative efforts being done by faculty across disciplines. And at present, there are projects being done by UP Manila, the College of Public Health with the College of Social Work and Community Development. So I just don't want to let that statement pass, that to give the impression that there is no efforts towards collaborative research. What we should do, of course, is to make it easier for faculty members and for units to do this collaborative work.
Thank you, Dr. Cao. We are getting many questions from the other campuses, so allow me to give the floor to UP Tacloban at this point. UP Tacloban, Professor Mangada, come in, please.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. This is from UP Tacloban. Dr. Gomez, we have one question. You have mentioned a lot of areas that need attitude change. Which do you consider urgent for faculty, staff, and students? Kindly explain a little. Yun lang po.